Commissioner Randolph, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Davis.
Father, once again, we come to you to say thank you for the many blessings you bestowed in our lives. Lord, we thank you for allowing us to be exempt from Hurricane Nate and protecting those that was in its way. We thank you for blessing us throughout this date and this very moment in time. And we thank you for this commission. We thank you for the decisions that we make. We ask that you guide all those decisions so they might be worthy and valuable to those citizens that's impacted. And all these blessings we ask. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In our packets are the minutes of the September 12th, 2017 meeting. I would ask for any comments regarding them. Commissioner Randolph. We have a motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve. Commissioner Drum? Second. A motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve, second by Commissioner Drum. Please vote.
Motion carries.
This is a public hearing. The public is encouraged to speak on behalf of or in opposition to any of the cases read. Entering parish right-of-way, servitudes and easements. Entering parish right-of-way, St. Landry Street and Low Davis Road, Ward 3, District 2. Request to enter parish right-of-way for the purpose of laying fiber optic cable. The debtor, Southern Light LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable David Fitzgerald. Postponed at the September 12th, 2017 meeting. Staff.
Yes, this is a resolution granting Southern Light LLC permission to enter the parish right-of-way, specifically the portion of St. Landry Street and Low Davis Road located within Sunrise Park subdivision for the purpose of laying fiber optic cables.
Thank you. Mr. Shane.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jeff Shane of the Jones Fussell Law Firm, P.O. Box 1810 in Covington. I have the pleasure of representing Southern Light LLC and also Hunt Communication LLC, which will be the third case on your docket, because the first three cases are all very similar, same company, if you will. We come before you this evening seeking simple permission to enter the public right-of-way. These matters have been on your docket for months now, pending conclusion of discussions and negotiations as it relates to entering into a franchise agreement between the company and the parish. I'm happy to say that the terms of that agreement have been confected, and the ordinance was introduced at the October council meeting to be adopted in November. So unless there are any technical questions from staff, or certainly any questions by any of you, we would appreciate you granting permission to enter the public right-of-way in all three of these matters this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Shane.
Thank you for your time.
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve. Commissioner Casabon. Second by Commissioner Casabon. Any further comments? Please vote.
Motion carries.
Entering parish right-of-way, River Highlands Boulevard and Echo Street, Ward 3, District 5. Request to enter parish right-of-way for the purpose of laying fiber optic cable. The debtor, Southern Light LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Reichert Toledano. Postponed at the September 12th, 2017 meeting. Staff.
Yes, this is a resolution granting Southern Light LLC permission to enter the parish right-of-way, specifically the portion of River Highlands Boulevard and Echo Street located within River Highlands subdivision for the purpose of laying fiber optic cables.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? Mr. Shane, same as previous? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Randolph. Motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve. Commissioner Lauren. Second by Commissioner Lauren. Any further comments? We have a motion and a second to approve. Please vote.
Motion carries.
Entering parish right-of-way, Harrison Avenue, Ward 3, District 5. Request to enter parish right-of-way for the purpose of laying fiber optic cable. The debtor, Hunt Communications, LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Reichert Taladano. Postponed at the September 12, 2017 meeting. Mr. Shane, any further comment?
No, sir.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Casabon. Motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve. Commissioner Richardson. Second by Commissioner Richardson. Are there any further comments? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Minor subdivisions, 2017-793-MSP, a 34.89 acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 3, District 2. Owner, Mark and Mary Chatry, Surveyor, LS Land Surveying, LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable David Fitzgerald. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The reason why a public hearing is required for this minor subdivision is that proposed parcel B does not meet the minimum 300-foot public road frontage for the A1 suburban zoning district. The owner is proposing to create two parcels from a 34.89 acre parcel, a parent parcel, and since a private drive will provide access to only one parcel, said drive is not required to be built to a parish standard pursuant to section 40-045 minimum standards for a private drive of subdivision regulatory ordinance 499. However, since the minimum public road frontage is not being met for proposed parcel B, if the commission decides to approve this request, a waiver of the regulations are required relative to the lot width issue, and a 2/3 majority vote of the full membership of the commission, 8 members, is required in order to approve the waiver pursuant to section 40-100 waiver of regulations of subdivision ordinance 499. The staff has no objections to the proposed minor subdivision request due to the fact that they are large parcel sizes and subject to, and therefore we don't have any objections subject to the waiver being granted.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you come to the podium, state your name and address for the record and your reason for the request.
Mark Chatry, 71120 Riverside Drive, Covington. My wife and I own this 34-acre parcel, and it's our intention to carve out 8 acres and give it to my daughter and son-in-law for construction of their family home.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone in the public who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Dougherty.
Yes, Ron, on the drawing, the survey that was in our packet, the driveway coming off Smith Drive goes to parcel A, right?
It goes, no, parcel, that actual piece of ground, that piece of land that goes to Smith Road is actually part of parcel B. If you look farther down at the beginning of parcel A, you'll see the little extension of a dashed line there for that private servitude that lacks access parcel A.
All right, okay. I'd move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Dougherty to approve. Commissioner Randolph? Second by Commissioner Randolph. Commissioner Dougherty, do you approve with the waiver? Yes. Thank you. Mr. Randolph, you approve second with the waiver as well? Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Dougherty to approve with the waiver, second by Commissioner Randolph. Please vote.
Motion carries with waivers.
2017-795-MSP, a 2.121 acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 8, District 13. Owner, Alphonse Collins. Surveyor, John G. Cummings and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Michelle Blanchard. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Reason why this was required, minor subdivision is required for a public hearing is that parcel B does not meet the minimum 100-foot public road frontage for the A3 suburban zoning district. The owner is proposing to create two parcels from a 2.121 acre parent parcel. However, since the minimum lot public frontage of 100 feet is not being met for proposed parcel B, if the commission decides to approve this request, a waiver of the regulations are required relative to the lot with issue, and a 2/3 majority vote of the full membership of the commissioners is needed in order to approve pursuant to section 40-100 subdivision ordinance 499. Staff has no objections to the proposed minor subdivision request, subject to the waiver being granted.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you please come to the podium, sir, and state your name and address and your reason for the request.
Yes, name is Alphonse. I'm sorry. Name is Alphonse Collins. Address is 57341 Smith Road, Slaughter, Louisiana, 70461 zip code. My reason being is splitting it and just want to put a home on it. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Randolph. Motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve with the waiver. Commissioner Casabon.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Casabon. Commissioner Dougherty, any further comment? Okay, support. Seeing no further comments, we have a motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve with the waiver, second by Commissioner Casabon. Please vote.
Motion carries with waiver.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Petitions, requests, we have none. Entering the Tammany Trace, we have none. Revocations and closing review, we have none. Re-subdivision review, we have none. Dormant subdivision review, we have none. Tentative subdivision review, we have none. Preliminary subdivision review, 2017-680-PP, Whispering Forest, Ward 1, District 3. Developer owner Bob Hessen. Engineer Aero Engineering and Consultants. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable James Red Thompson. Postponed indefinitely at the August 8th, 2017 meeting. Staff.
Preliminary plans and hydrologic study have been reviewed by this office and an inspection of the site was made. The following comments must be addressed before a work order will be issued. General comments: provide all applicable state, local, and federal permits for Whispering Forest. 2, provide written approval of the plans from the utility provider. 3, a waiver is required for the entrance of the subdivision. The developer has proposed to use a 60-foot wide right-of-way at the entrance instead of the required 80-foot boulevard entrance. Staff has no objections to this proposal due to the layout of the entrance and the width of the existing right-of-way along Joyner-Weimer Road. Additionally, the developer has proposed to relocate his existing drive at the entrance to a location within the subdivision to further improve the safety of this intersection. On the preliminary plat, the drainage servitude between lots 4 and 9 needs to be added to the plat. Include in the dedication statement or restrictive covenants a note stating that St. Tammany Parish is to maintain all signage for the subdivision. Revise the 60-foot right-of-way typical section so that the property lines and right-of-way lines are at the same location. Also include water and sewer lines in the correct locations. Item number 1 in the 60-foot right-of-way typical section is not labeled. Provide a cross-section for the drainage servitude between lots 4 through 9 to indicate which lots will have the 15-foot working area and which lots will have the 5-foot area. Verify the sewer force main extension along Joyner-Weimer Road is located completely within parish right-of-way or utility servitude. Provide a detail and cross-section showing how the sewer force main will be installed at the crossing of Beatico Creek. On the SWIP, delete the lot sizes from the SWIP plan. A funded maintenance obligation in the amount of $10,000 is required in accordance with subdivision ordinance 499, 40.06108, funded letters of credit for existing parish roads to ensure the repair of any damage to the parish roads resulting from the construction in connection with the subdivision. An additional maintenance obligation in the amount of 1,888 linear feet at $5 per linear foot and one jack and bore at $5,000 per bore, equal to $14,500 is required for the construction of the water and sewer lines within Joyner-Weimer Road right-of-way to ensure the repair of any damage to the parish road from construction activity in connection with the installation of the water and sewer lines. Public Works will require an additional maintenance obligation before a land clearing permit is issued. The amount of this obligation will be established by Public Works upon review of the land clearing permit. Mandatory developmental fees will be required at final submittal in accordance with Ordinance 499, since no public hearing was held prior to January 1st, 2005. Revised drawings will not be accepted prior to the October 10, 2017 Planning Commission meeting to ensure that any additional comments established at the meeting can be incorporated into the revised plans.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here?
Darrell Facel with Aero Engineering, P.O. Box 881, Madisonville. That was weird. Bad omen. As far as the comments are concerned, item 1 is administrative. Item 2, the plans have been submitted to Tammany Utilities. And I'll skip item 3 and come back. Items 4 on the plat, the drainage servitude shown on the C1, but we missed it on the plat, so we have to correct that. The dedication statement, we have a dedication statement about the roads, but we got to add the signs. We missed that. And then the 6 and 7 are about the typical section that we just have some lines in the wrong place that just need to be cleaned up. It's shown properly on the C1, but need to show it on the plat properly. Item 8, the cross section for the drainage servitude, which is shown, and the typical drainage servitude section has a 15-foot working area on one side and 5-foot space on the other side. And the engineering department wants us to show which side is going to have the 15 and which side, relative to north-south, is going to have the 5. So we'll do that. And then the items 9 and 10, we're out there working as far as item 9 about being completely within the parish right-of-way. Right now, they're installing the sewer and water on Joyner-Weimer Road for Wingfield subdivision. So when this will tie into the Wingfield subdivision, so that's kind of a construction administrative thing with Tammany Utilities, but we are working that out. And then similarly, the detail on cross-section showing how the sewer force main will be installed at the crossing in Beatico Creek. We will either be going under the pipes on Beatico Creek or over the pipes, depending on what Tammany Utility wants us to do. So that's kind of administrative. And then number 11, delete the lot size on the SWEP plan. That's another typo. But back to item 3, the waiver for the entrance to the subdivision. The ordinance requires 100-foot, an 80-foot right-of-way for 100 feet for the entrance of a subdivision. The purpose of that is so that you can have a right turn out of the subdivision. But in our case, we don't have a right turn out because the way this is at the dead end of Joyner-Weimer, and so we're entering straight in. And the reason that we're asking for this waiver was at the suggestion of Jay and some of the other engineers, because it would just serve no purpose because there's no right turn. So we just we'll have a regular 60-foot right of way there. so.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. And also just a point of clarification, though it shows postponed indefinitely at the August 8th meeting, on the September 12th, the petitioner did come back in front of the commission and request that it be put back on the agenda, which was granted. Therefore, it is permissible to hear the case this evening. Commissioner Lauren.
Right off the bat, the only question I would have is, with the exception of item 3, do you have any problems at all with any of the other items listed on these
No,
check sheet?
no,
And you agree with the staff?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Casabon.
Since he agrees with all staff comments, and seems like the staff, it was their suggestion to do the 60-foot since there's no right turn, I'll make a motion to approve with the waiver.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Casabon with the waiver. Commissioner Dougherty.
Yes, what was coming up on the screen here in front of us was not the proper case.
That was a typo. So what's on the parish planning meeting screen right now, that's the correct case number, and it's correct on your agenda. It's just a mistake on the PowerPoint.
Okay, well, it was just coming up with the wrong case and everything, and even the notes on the postponed indefinitely were on the other case too, so. All
Yeah,
right.
so this is case number 2017-680 PP.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Willie.
Second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Willie. I have one question. Is there, under the third item, Mr. Fussell, is there any chance that there could ever be a right turn out of this in the future? I know it's not today, but in the future, is there any way that it would be?
It's very, very unlikely, because the guy that owns the land next to it is, it's like he would have to rezone his property for a subdivision or something, and then it would be an entrance into us right into, well, I mean, he'd have to put the entrance to his subdivision right up against ours, which they probably wouldn't approve that anyway, so, no.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve with a waiver, second by Commissioner Willie. Please vote.
Motion carries with waiver.
2017-774-PP, Arundel, Ward 1, District 1, developer owner Wing 21 LLC, engineer Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc., Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Marty Dean. This case was postponed at the September 12th, 2017 meeting. Staff?
Preliminary plans and hydrologic study have been reviewed by this office, and an inspection of the site was made. The following comments must be addressed before a work order will be issued. General comments: provide all state, local, and federal permits for Arundel, provide written approval of the plans from the utility provider, provide proof of the revocation of Oak Lane. On the preliminary plat, add the agreed-upon note to the plans defining the buffers for Black River, revise the label for the 5-foot drainage servitude on Lot 25. The servitude is not private. On the paving and drainage plan, cross-section BB is not shown on the paving and drainage plan. Please provide this cross-section. Provide grades at the property corners from the drainage servitude behind lots 22 through 24 to show positive flow. Remove the drainage arrow from lot 13 showing lot drainage to the south. Sewer and water plan, revise the buffer call-out for Black River to be consistent with the call-out on the preliminary plat. Cross-section CC does not show the north side of Brewster Road where the proposed sewer lines are to be placed. Provide a cross-section of Brewster Road showing the location of the required sewer infrastructure within the road right-of-way. Right-of-way on the north side of Brewster Road is labeled apparent. Additional survey in this area is required to locate the actual right-of-way line. On the SWIP plan, The construction entrance detail call-out showed different required widths, revised to eliminate this conflict, also provide the required depth for the stabilized construction entrance. A funded maintenance obligation in the amount of $10,000 is required in accordance with subdivision ordinance 499, section 40.06108. Funded letters of credit for existing parish roads to ensure the repair of any damage to the roads resulting from the construction in connection with the subdivision. An additional maintenance obligation in the amount of 876 linear feet at $5 per linear foot and 2 jack and bores at $5,000 per bore, equal to $14,400, is required for the construction of the water and sewer lines within the Brewster Road right-of-way to ensure the repair of any damage to the parish roads from the construction activity in conjunction with the installation of the water and sewer lines. Public Works will also require an additional maintenance obligation before a land clearing permit is issued. The amount of this obligation will be established by Public Works upon review of the land clearing permit. Mandatory developmental fees will be required at the final submittal in accordance with 499, since no public hearing was held prior to January 1st, 2005. And revised drawings will not be accepted prior to the October 10, 2017 Planning Commission meeting to ensure that any additional comments established at the meeting can be incorporated into the revised plans.
Thank you. Mr. Moran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paul Marone on behalf of Wing 21 LLC and Arundel Subdivision. We have reviewed with our engineer all of the staff comments, have no objection to any of them, and will comply with each of them. Most of them, as you heard from Mr. Watson, are just revisions to the various plans, plat work, as well as a little additional surveying along Brewster Road, which Mr. McHugh's prepared to conduct. With regards to the revocation of Oak Lane, that's a little bit of an unusual comment, so I thought I would explain that a little bit. Apparently on the parish maintenance rolls, there shows that Oak Lane is maintained by the parish. If you went out to Brewster Road into this property, you would not really be able to identify Oak Lane. It really is nothing more than a driveway to the old house that was on the property before my client purchased it. We're not exactly sure how it got on the maintenance rolls. It doesn't appear that it's been maintained. It doesn't serve anyone anymore. And there is nothing in the chain of title to reflect any formal dedication. We suspect that through the years in the police jury system that the prior police juror in this area may have maintained it at one point, but that since has ceased. So we are in contact with parish legal to determine what process they would want us to follow to be able to remove that from the rolls. We will have that done in accordance with the requirement in the comments before you. Other than that, the other comments, as I said, we're prepared to address, and we can do so in fairly short order. We would respectfully request your approval of our preliminary submittal subject to these comments, and if any of the comments give you any concern, if you have any questions regarding them, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Lauren.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Lauren to approve. Commissioner Randolph. Second by Commissioner Randolph. Commissioner Richard.
Just a quick question for Paul. What's up with lot?
Can you,
hold on, sorry.
Lot 25. Looks like it's outside the subdivision, or how does he get access to it?
It's, we talked about this a little bit at tentative. It is within the subdivision,
Right.
but its access is directly off of Brewster Road. It does not access off of the interior road that will be constructed. There is, between 25 and 24, 23, 22, those lots, there is a pretty significant drainage ditch that drains much of the Brewster Road area. And so that needed to be preserved and in its condition, so we really couldn't, there was really no way to access that other than directly off of Brewster Road.
So it's even though it's in the subdivision, it'll have its own drive, if you will, onto Brewster, and but it'll still be part of the homeowners association?
In all other respects, it will act just like the rest of the lots, yes.
Thank you.
are there any other comments? Seeing none, we have a motion by Commissioner Lauren to approve, second by Commissioner Randolph. Please vote.
I'm missing 4 votes.
Hold it a little bit, there you go. They'll turn them off, they'll hit them again and they stop blinking. They have to blink.
Yeah, if they're blinking, that means that you voted.
Somebody's not blinking.
Somebody's not blinking.
Somebody's not blinking.
But it still shows one missing.
Motion carries.
It's their prerogative, so really.
Suspense on that one. Jeez. Where was the music? We needed music. Final subdivision review, we have none. Proposed amendments to ordinance 499, we have none. Old business, 2017-693-MSP, a 16.95 acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 3, District 3. The owner, Gary and Martha Casabon. Surveyor, Ellis Land Surveying, LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable James Red Thompson. Request by owner to amend the minor subdivision survey. Commissioner Casabon has recused herself from this case. Staff?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yeah, as you indicated, the reason why the public hearing is required for this is that back in May or June of 2017, the owner of the property did a minor subdivision, which the commission approved, creating these parcels A and B. After the fact, the owners of the property, specifically for parcel A, decided it would be more economically feasible for them to simply branch off of the existing drive that was on parcel B, and therefore to get access to parcel A. And because you changed the plat that was approved by the commission, the amendment is required to be reviewed by this commission and approved.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? Come to the podium, state your name and address and your reason for the request, please.
All right. Kristen O'Keefe, address 13252, Highway 1078 Folsom, Louisiana 70437. Just as stated, to make it more feasible to just come right off of that driveway to put the servitude in.
Thank you. And it's our understanding that the owner of that property does consent to this. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Willie.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, this is all family property and stuff. I move for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Willie to approve. Commissioner Richardson. Second by Commissioner Richardson. Any further comments? Seeing none, we've got a motion by Commissioner Willie to approve, second by Commissioner Richardson. Please vote.
Motion carries with Ms. Casabon recusing herself.
Thank you. Spring Haven, Phase 2, Ward 1, District 4. Developer owner, Autumn Creek 2 LLC. Engineer, Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Michael Lorino, Jr. Request for approval of a T turnaround. Staff?
Honorable Commissioners, Springhaven subdivision Phase 2 was approved with a cul-de-sac at the western end of Sweet Clover Way. The developer is now requesting that the cul-de-sac be converted to a T turnaround to accommodate a revision to the off-site drainage channel that flows through the subdivision. See attached drawing dated September 11, 2017. The Department of Development Engineering has no objection to this change.
Thank you. Mr. Marone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paul Maroon on behalf of the developers of Spring Haven subdivision. As Mr. Watson noted, we're requesting approval of the T turnaround as opposed to the cul-de-sac to accommodate the ditch that you see on the plans. This ditch carries a great deal of water from the north of our project, and it is trying to get south, as it always has, to the Black River, and it is going to better utilize the ditch and accept that flow if we're able to keep the ditch as shown on the plan. The cul-de-sac that was there before bulged out further into that area, which actually puts us into a power line right-of-way, and the power company is not interested in having us impede that right-of-way any further. So we would respectfully request your approval of the T-turnaround as opposed to the cul-de-sac in order to accommodate this ditch and the flows that are coming from our north. I'll be happy to answer any questions that any of the commissioners may have regarding our request.
Thank you, Mr. Marone. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Fitzmaurice.
I've seen these utilized before. I'm moving for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Fitzmaurice to approve. Commissioner Davis.
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Davis. Any further comments? We have a motion by Commissioner Fitzmaurice, second by Commissioner Davis to approve. Please vote.
Motion carries 10-1 with Mr. Richard voting against it.
New business. Ordinance number 5849-AA. Ordinance adopting and enacting a new 2017 Code of Ordinances of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana, providing for repeal of certain provisions not included therein, providing penalties for the violations thereof, providing for the manner of amending such code, and providing when such code and this ordinance shall become effective, specifically the reformatting of the subdivision regulations to allow for online publishing via the MuniCode system. Staff, any comments? We are going to defer to council, but what we're going to engage is that the basis of this request is to change the formatting to reflect and to conform with the MuniCode system. That's all we are here to focus on, is the formatting. Council?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and you said it succinctly. For quite some time, the Parish Council has been working with MuniCode Corporation to create this new code. And the reason that the subdivision regulations, otherwise known as Ordinance 499, is coming before you tonight in conjunction with this ordinance is because, of course, you're the Planning Commission, and the subdivision regulations are going to be reformatted to fit within the MuniCode system. And so that is the full extent of why it is before this commission tonight. It does not reflect any substantive changes to the subdivision regulations, but as the title of the ordinance states, it is a reformatting of our regulations, parish code-wide, in order to fit within this new system.
Thank you. With that, is there anyone in the public who has any questions or comments? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
I'll make a motion to approve the new format.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve the new formatting. Commissioner Fitzmaurice.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Commissioner Lauren.
With the understanding that all we're doing is changing the format and not the context or content of the material, I'll go along with it, but I'm uncomfortable, and I need to make sure we understand that there's a need when we're gonna be looking at something like this. We need to have it in our hands a little bit earlier so we can have a chance to more thoroughly look at it. There are many context errors in the document right now. But the context and content errors are not what we're looking at. We're looking at the format, the outline. So with that, I'll go along with it.
Thank you, Mr. Lauren. Council, any further comments?
Just to confirm what Mr. Lauren has observed, that the compilation of all the provisions is still a work in process, Mr. Lauren, and by the time the Parish Council adopts this new parish code, all of those provisions will be in place and where they belong. What you have been provided for review is just for the purposes of realizing the new formatting and to make sure that you didn't have any concerns with that process.
Are there any other questions or comments by the commission? If not, we have a motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Please vote.
Motion carries.
Is there any other new business to come before the commission? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.